People often ask me what sort of program I do at home myself to keep my horse fit and strong and able to do the things he does, and I'd like to share that with you today. I'm going to do a video for you to show you the steps that I do with my horse to keep him nice and fit and healthy and strong. Also to help their range of movement. Range of movement's a really important thing. Now, when we're doing this sort of thing that I'm about to show you here, this is training. Okay, now training is a physical thing. Okay, so repetition of training. It's not to be confused with teaching. Okay, there's the 3 T's. There's teaching, training, and tricks, and we need to know the difference between the 3 when we're working with our horses. Okay, quite often people get themselves into trouble. They think they're teaching their horse when they're actually training it. Okay, so training is just like going to the gym, doing exercises, getting stronger and fitter. It doesn't make you any smarter. Okay, might make you a bit healthier, but not a lot smarter. So we've got to make sure we don't get confused with that, especially when we're out there training a horse. Okay, when you're teaching a horse, it's a whole different ball game. And that is something that we do in our foundation program. You'll go through the Quantum Savvy Foundation program and you'll learn more about teaching your horse in there and actually learning a lot about yourself as well as you do it. Tricks, on the other hand, while we're talking about teaching and training, and tricks is the other T. Tricks are things that are like an automatic response, so a cue and a response. So something, let's see, what would be a trick? Quite often you see people who have taught their horse to lay down, but they'll just tap it on the shoulder and it'll lay down. It'll be a cue and a response. So quite often when we're doing things, people think they're teaching their horse, but all they've done is teach it a response. A classic one is that I see is when people back their horse up by wiggling the rope. Okay, if you just wiggle your rope and the horse goes backwards and then you stop, the horse will learn that rope wiggle means go backwards. Okay, but if you did that with a horse who's uneducated, hasn't learnt any of that stuff before, say a wild horse, you went out there, put a halter on him, wiggled the rope, he would go forward because that's his natural instinct. Okay, so we can reprogram them and release when they go backwards, but that is actually a trick, not communication. Communication would be involving your body language and having direction in the lead rope. Okay, I'll show you. I think he's asleep. You awake there, buddy? This is Major, my little horse. Okay, I better wake him up a bit. Now, it doesn't mean not to wiggle your rope, but it does mean to know the difference between a trick and teaching. Okay, so here he's awake. Here, if I lift my body language up and then send a wave down the rope that puts a backward feel on the halter, that is communication to the horse because it's got direction in it. It's got to have direction. Okay, if it's got no direction, it's probably a trick. Keep an eye out for that. I'm going to start here today with the saddling procedure right from the beginning of what I would do in a normal day with my horse when I'm just working on his fitness, strength and range of movement. Okay, so I've just put the saddle on. I'm about to saddle him, check my cinch here and move him around and go through my saddling procedure. So I'll take you through these steps. I'll just check this. What do we got? Okay, let's go, buddy. I like to send him off with his front end first, just to make sure that he's using his back end. And this is just a little warm up. It's not anything flash. It's just to move him around a bit, get him stretching and flexing. Hindquarter yield, forequarter to the new direction. So I did a hindquarter yield, then I sent his forequarter off to go in the new direction. Okay, keep going, buddy. Same this way, hindquarter, step back a little, forequarter, good boy. So I had to push him out of my personal space there. Doesn't flex as well on this side, but that's okay, that's what we're working on. here I'm going to ask him to come to a stop, and I want to keep this impulsion up. Oh, a bit lazy there, buddy. I'd really like him to have a little bit more impulsion to that sideways to a stop. I'm trying to get him to get his hind underneath him in his saddling procedure. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright. Okay, so here we've got some Cavalettis. I like to do a few in a row to make sure. Come on, buddy. Make sure he uses his hind, and I like a little back up here just to get that hind under in his landing. Hind quarter yield, fore quarter, off we go again. Oh, a bit sloppy on that one, and a nice stop. Okay, let's do that again a bit better, mate. Come on. Beautiful. Nice landing. Good boy. Cool. So you want to get that, you know, those 3 or 4 in a row, and get them using their hind. Sometimes they can just throw themselves over one jump. But if you do 3 in a row, they've got to start using their back a bit better, and bring them into a halt and a back up. And the finish here is really getting them to think about landing using their hind. Okay, we're going to go put our bridle on and check out our rein positions. Okay, before I take him down the front and take him out to our playground down the front there, I'm just going to check out our rein positions. Now, when you hop on your horses, it's real important that you don't pull this saddle sideways, because that's not good for their back. Okay, so you need to leverage yourself from back to front when you hop on. If you have trouble doing that, you've got a big horse, or your legs are a bit shorter than what they need to be, then just use a mounting block. It's the easiest way to take a bit of strain off your horse, because what we're trying to do here is develop the horse's strength in his back, and not pull it in a direction it's not meant to go. So it's got a lot of strength this way, they haven't got much strength that way, so be careful of that. So when you hop up, rein and mane, grab the pommel. Hey buddy. And go forward when you hop on. Okay. Get my rein length right here. Now this video is for people who have already got their impulsion happening with their horse. If your horse is, you know, still running off or going too slow, and you need to work on your impulsion before that. Okay, because if you go out here and try and do this stuff without the horse understanding, going whoa, then you're just going to find he's going to be pushing on the reins. Okay, we don't want that. We want them to be happy and comfortable. So there's going to be some soft feel in this. So what we'll do first up is ask for some flexion. Now it's called soft feel because it's not just a vertical flex. He needs to pick himself up through the ribs when he flexes at the pole, not just flex at the pole. So he's got to stand up properly. Okay, lateral flex left and right. Hind quarter yield. And in these hind quarter yields, this is just a warm up before we go out for a ride. You want to know more about these rein positions, just check out the Quantum Savvy Foundation program. So here I'm just getting this hind moving, and what I'd really like is to get a little bit of a rhythm in that. See that little bit of rhythm there that I had in that hind quarter yield? Just get a little bit of that. If you can't get that, just get it as light as possible. And it's okay for this front end to do a little bit of a circle. That's good. Good. Now we'll do the front. And I'd like some nice impulsion in this as well. So that's a nice little turn there. So I reward that. Remember, these turns, the forequarter turns as well as that hind quarter turn, need to have some forward in them. That's good there. So you could even let them walk forward out of that as the release part, okay, as the teaching part. Okay, we're on our circle, so it was just to check out our rein positions. Here I put every time I ride I do these tasks. I'm on the circle, just going to do a little loose rein, just to make sure he's okay with that. I'm going to pick up some contact, change directions. Here I'm going to do the front end, change directions, go back the other way. So there's a front end change of direction. Give him a loose rein again. You can do all this in contact if you want, but when you're just warming up, sometimes it's nice just to give that loose rein. Come on buddy, flex. There, he's good. 4/4 again. Nice, nice. Good boy. On this next one I'm going to do a hind quarter change of direction, but I'm going to make sure the shoulders come across a little bit as well. We call this a flex to flex. Just a little bit of sideways there. Come on buddy, a little bit of sideways out of there. Had to go a bit wide over there, but it's okay. We're just warming up. This is just like little stretches we do before we get out there. Cool, looking good. Good boy. Now, as you know, in your foundation program, if at any time they get heavy on these reins, you'll back them up and get them off of it, and then try again. Okay, or go back to your program. Now, if you haven't done a lot of soft feel, a lot of vertical flex type stuff, you could do this just with a little bit of feel on 2 reins until your horse gets a little bit more flexible, improves their range of movement. Okay, so they don't have to flex that much, but you could just have a little bit of feel like that, and that might be okay as well, just to get your horse out there. But remember, do your impulsion programs first. Do your lessons 7 and 8 in your Quantum Savvy program. Okay, the foundation program. Also like to do a little bit of sideways in my warm-up, and again I like a little bit of rhythm in this. So that's good there. And when you first do this, you might be a bit counter-arced, or as they're first starting out. Don't worry too much about that, just worry about the horse trying for you. Try and develop some try in him. So that's nice there, good boy. I'll just go back and do this one again. I like to try and finish with their nose tipping in the direction they're going. Okay, and maybe their hind a little bit in the direction they're going as well. Piece of cake. Alright, I'm going to ride down to my little impulsion area down here, and on the way down I'm going to do a few of these little rebounds. Okay, they're called rebounds because they're forwards and backwards, and there's no actual stop in it. Okay, so you've got that constant movement somewhere. Okay, and I'll just do a few of those on the way down there. I'll see you down there. I've got the Southern Cross set up here, so it's a 5-point pattern, same as what we've used for the rest of the Quantum Savvy program, and we're just going to do some circles here inside the barrels to warm our horse up. This is just to get a bit of heat in your horse, just to warm them up a little bit. It's nothing flash, it's just a loose rein, trot, just to warm them up a bit, just to get some warmth in there. So I'm just going to do these. Now what you'll notice with your horses when you're out here doing your circles, you'll be real tempted to shape them up on the circle and getting them all curved nice, and that's that's good. But don't be too hard on them. When you first start out here warming them up, they may not be flexed on the circle, they might not be curved all in the right direction, and that's because they're not warm. They're not bringing their inside hind underneath them, and they won't be curving through their body. It's just because they're not warmed up a bit. Okay, so don't worry about that too much just yet, is what I'm trying to say. Here I'm going to change direction. I'd like to do this, so I'll just do this with a 4/4 here. And I'll turn before my marker, back and the other way. So this is just to warm them up. He doesn't flex as well in this direction. That's that left hind. He isn't as strong on this side. It's not bad, but every horse is going to have its spot The same as us. Okay, a bit more impulsion, buddy. That's nice. Change direction. 4/4 just for fun. Whoops. 4/4, buddy. We might go do that again. Four-quarter. That's better. Okay. Staying in the canter, just nice loose rein. Just warming him up. It's real important if you're building the strength of your horse's back, and that's what we're doing here today, getting it back stronger, that you ride in time with your horse. So when he's going up, you need to be going up. When he's going down, you need to be going down. You can't be going against your horse's rhythm. Okay? But we've got more about that in Quantum Savvy Harmony and Motion program. Just do a hindquarter yield here, back the other way. He's dropped in a bit on his shoulder there, so I'll just push him out a bit sideways. Come on, buddy. Spank on the bum for being lazy. Warm up this side a bit more. I'm going to go around here until he puts his nose in the direction of the turn before I do a transition down. Not there. So that'll be an indicator that he's warmed up a bit. I could make him put it over there like I do every now and again, but the one where he puts it over there is a sign that he's ready for the next bit. There's good. Down to a walk, buddy. Okay, we're warmed up. I like to do his best side first. This is his right. And we're going to do this in soft feel, so a bit of vertical flex now. Now, I better come around here so you guys can see when I do this. When I'm doing soft feel, you've got to pick yourself up in your own body, widen your hands, ask them to soften, and then you're in position. You can close your hands back to a comfortable position. Okay? So here in walk, remember this is just a warm-up one, this isn't the big elevation one yet. So just a walk to trot. I'm going to do some transitions. Walk to trot. Walk, trot. Now the way we're doing this is change my rhythm. So here from a downward transition, no, it's a walk and I take my legs off my horse. Sit back on my back pockets. Want to transition up to trot, lift my body up, change my rhythm to a trot. Okay, you shouldn't have to be doing any squeezing, spanking your horse, any of that stuff. You should have sorted that out in your impulsion program. So trot, no turn yet, mate. Walk, okay? When he's in a nice walk, change direction, and that's it. I love doing those little turns on the circle. Just, you know, when you get a chance to do a little turn on the circle, to get them using their hind. So don't just change directions and waste a good opportunity to practice something. Make sure it's a soft feel pirouette or something like that, okay? Which means you've got to have forward in the turn. Okay, here in a walk again. When he's soft, trot, good boy. Walk, a bit slower on that one. Trot, walk, trot, walk. Good, good. He wants to do a trot turn here, but I'm going to do a walk one. There's no good, don't go up a gate in anything. Even the stuff we do here today, get the walk good, get the trot good, all those sorts of things. The trot's the best one for using their back though. If you do all this stuff in the trot, you'll have a nice healthy horse. Okay. So we're going to go from walk to canter here. That's the next bit. Get him flexed right, looking in his direction, walking nice, open up, change my rhythm. to the canter, that's nice. When he feels like he's got a good rhythm, down to a walk again. We'll do this a few times until he can do this without lifting his head too much. So he's sort of coming up a little bit too much there. It's not bad, it's not bad at all. Just every time they like you feel that, you know, the head will come up or they poke their nose or anything like that, it just means they're not using their hind as well as they could. Don't be hard on them about it. Just keep practicing. That's what we're doing this for, is to get it better. It doesn't mean you give them a loose rein and say good boy either. But so that's a nicer one there. That's good. Okay. Nice transition down, change, and walk canter transitions this way. Boy, oh. Just do these and sorry mate, driver error. Just do these until you get some sort of nice softness and try and reward on a good one, finish on a good one. That was a nice downward transition on that. So give him a loose rein. Just walk this circle. Now when you're doing this program, you know, give them a loose rein and let them walk it out. You know, you don't need to come down and stop in the centre all the time, back like you did in your teaching program. This is a training program. This is a physical exercise. Stopping and waiting will probably not be the best for your horse as far as their muscles go. So you've got to walk this. You know, just walk around for a little while and let them settle. Okay. If they're having real trouble mentally, you might let them walk a little bit, but then go and stop and wait till they mentally calm down, if you need to. After we've done our transitions, we're going to go out here and we're going to do some little turns around these barrels to get the horse using his hind and picking up through the back as he does his turn. So we're going to add some transitions into this. You know, this will look familiar to you from your impulsion programs in level 2, so lessons 7 and 8. Okay, but this time we're going to add in soft feel. Okay, so the vertical flex. So here we go. Soft feel. Turn to my right in this case. Ride to my barrel. Add a trot. Come down to a walk. Soft feel turn. Keep that back end walking around those barrels. Turn, trot, walk, turn, trot. Now for major, I've got to really make sure that I come right up to that marker before I do the transition down, otherwise he'll just sort of won't use his hind as much. So there, really get their hind underneath him for the turn. Okay, let's do the other side here. Transition, up, keep going, ooh. Walk, good boy. So you've got to really get those back legs bending. Good boy, you're doing a good job. Alright, now we're going to, we've done a few of these, so we've done trot walk. You know, and that might be as good as you can get on the first day. But if you're going alright, take it up to a trot and do the whole thing, the whole turn at a trot. So it's a 4/4 turn. Remember, the 4 quarters have got to go around. You don't just ride around the barrel. So line up behind, turn the 4/4 around the barrel. Keep an eye on that. You have a close look. 4/4. Boom. Overshot my mark. Come on, buddy. And if you can, you know, keep this Keep that same rhythm that you got from the forward. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's slowed a bit there. But try and keep that the same. I can change directions here. So once they've done a nice job, you do about 3 or 4. And if they've done nice, go the other way. Beautiful. It's pretty cool to ride. Remember, this is hard work for them, so don't, go out here and enjoy yourself too much. Pretty good. Okay, we're going to come into a stop here. Beautiful, good boy. Okay, I'm just going to be a little bit of a mental rest here before we go to the next bit. Next bit's going to be canter. Canter the straight, walk the turn. Canter the straight, walk the turn. Okay, once he's got that going good, then you could take it up and do the whole thing at a canter. But we'll see how we go today. I'll just show you what it looks like. Ready, buddy? Good boy. Remember, in these transitions up, try not to let them poke their nose out, okay? If they do that, it means they're not using their hind. You do this a few times, they'll get the hang of it. And as you get them stronger, you'll find that they'll stay level. It's doing pretty good. Let's change sides. Good boy. You see, he's really starting to use that hind there in that. Come on, buddy. In that downward transition. Looking good. Okay. Just give him a bit of a rest there. So that's pretty nice. He's getting the canter and the walk turns worked out good, and he's starting to flex and use his hind well. Should we give the canter a go? Let's give it a go. Now this is something, if you just do the trot ones for now and get your horse really good at those and get the tempo nice, that'd be really good for your horse. So, and then you could build it up to the canter walk transitions. Remember, that's going to start to put emotional pressure on the horse, so it's hard to do physical training if your horse is emotional, so you might need to work on your impulsion a little bit more before you do that. But give it a go. Okay, ready, bud? A little bit slack on that one. Just get ourselves tidied up here. That wasn't bad, that was good. Just trying to get a little bit more soft feel in here. It's pretty good. Important thing when you... That was pretty good. Important thing when you're doing this is when you're riding around this barrel, and I've got to remind myself of this as well, look where you're going. You've got to focus up. That'll help the horse. Get over this way, mate. That'll help the horse have a bit better forward in the turn. If you focus down too much, you'll lose too much forward. And remember, you're not just riding around the barrel, you're doing a 4/4 turn. That was a nice one. So we're going to come down to a halt. So it's a 4/4 round. Good job, mate. Good job. Okay, once you've done your turns around the barrel, that's actually what we use in our point-to-point program, in the impulsion part of our program. So that's what we call point-to-point, around those little barrels there. The turns around the barrels that we just did. Now we're going to do some rebounds at the barrels, and just to get the horse, warming up his hind. getting those back legs moving again, and lightening up that forequarter. Okay, so we're just going to do a couple of little rebounds here to warm him up. So get our backwards going. Come on, buddy. Rebound it. Turn. Keep going. Feeling a bit sluggish. Good. That's better. Good boy. Alright. Once these feel nice, once you've got the nice impulsion into that, and they're starting to really get that hind under them there. We'll change sides here, do the other side. No, not yet. You're reading my mind. I was about to say after that, we could take it up to a canter. Okay. Just get him warmed up first, get him understanding what we're about to do, the pattern, understanding the pattern. Good. It's also the task, you could do this here to, if you want to build to spin, so, you could, instead of riding to there, you could do a full turn. Okay, we'll talk about that more in another video. Okay, so he's got the hang of this here now. Going to go back to the other direction. Take him up to a canter. Rebound him down. Now you might just get to, where you can do just the trot ones on the first day or the first week that you're doing this program, this training program, and that's okay. Come on, buddy. Good. Come on, liven up. Now, you notice there I went backwards a fairly long way. Just trying to get a bit more impulsion into this. That's better. Good boy. And I'd like him riding right into those barrels, taken off nice. Good. Might have to get a spank on the bum here. Where's me spank? Alright, it's a warning shot. Come on, come on. Good boy, that's the way. That's better. Still trying to stop before the barrel. But you guys get the idea. And you're starting to really get that hind into his stop there. That's excellent. Okay. So that's our rebounds at the barrels. Next we're going to do some hindquarter control. Okay, so that one there was the forequarters, and in this one we're going to do the hindquarters, get the hindquarters working. So all these exercises, they're going to be working the hindquarter or the forequarter. Okay, and the idea is to get the horse using his back and flexing all those muscles, using that range of movement. Okay, so we're on the circle. So you might do his, oh yeah, we'll do this side. Okay, he's curved nice on the circle. Going to push his hind to the outside. Actually, we'll do this at a trot. You can do it at a walk if you're first starting out, but I love the trot. It's a great 50-50 balance in the trot. So just getting the hind to the outside, hind to the inside. Good. Hind to the outside. Good. On the circle. Down to a walk again. You ready, mate? Okay, so we've done trot. Actually, we better do the other side, eh? I was about to take that up to a canter, but you guys might want to do both sides first at the trot. Hind out. Hind in. This is a 4-track, it's not a 3-track like in dressage. It's a big bend. It's a real big bend, okay? Because we're trying to get the horses really flexing. Now when you're doing this, the first time you do, hindquarters in, hindquarters out, you might find that the horse wants to actually go sideways with its shoulders like that. That's okay to start there, but get to where you can have your horse's shoulders travelling on the circle, and just have their hind coming, just their hind going in and out. Okay, and your front legs travelling on the circle. Okay, we'll go back the other way. We'll take it up to a canter and we'll see if we can sneak in a little trot turn. Very nice. Down to a walk. Now we'll try to move along a bit here. This whole practice session should take around about 45 minutes. Okay, you ready, mate? To a canter. Good. Down to a walk. Hindquarters in, up to a canter, good, down to a walk, good boy, hindquarters out, up to a canter, beautiful. Okay, so a couple of those, about 3 of those each way. That one, mate. Down to a walk. That's pretty nice. Now when you're doing this, you'll find that the elevation starts to come in. When they're doing a nice canter, it'll be real tempting to pop in a fly change when you go from the outside flex to the inside flex. You can do that rather than come down to a walk, but don't do it too soon. What we're working on here is getting your horse soft and flexible and strong in all its ranges of movement, and if you can do that, if your focus is on that, focuses on getting the strength, getting your horse travelling soft and supple left and right in walk, trot and canter, fly change will be a piece of cake. So keep focusing on, don't focus on the fly change. There's a lot of horses out there that'll do a fly change, but they're not soft and supple or even strong. Okay, so you want a soft, supple, strong horse, and then you'll be able to do fly changes, not the other way around. The fly change shouldn't be the focus, okay? But it will be tempting to do that fly change, and make sure your horse is nice and happy and emotionally ready to do that. And again, you'd probably do more of that in the teaching part, which is in those sort of fly changes. Contact fly changes are in the top end of your level 3 in our foundation program. Okay, so what have we done? Hindquarters in and out. Oh, I've got to do this other side. Okay, so this isn't as strong, so I'm going to have to let him sort of. Sometimes his shoulders go a bit out of whack on this side, but it looks pretty nice today. Good. Walk. Don't throw that head, mate. Good. Walk. Hind out. Ready? Don't you let those shoulders drift. Good. Walk. Oh, this is nice. No, not a trot. And one more. And you can start to look for a little bit more elevation in your canter when you're doing these ones. So not so much forward in your stride, okay, and that'll cause them to have to get a little bit stronger. Now there's more information on how to do that canter on our website, and how to teach your horse to be confident to go into that canter, okay? So you might not be able to do a little circle like that when you first start out on your canter. So just maybe do the hindquarters in and out at a trot until you've got your horse confident doing canter. Alright, we've done our hindquarters in and out to loosen up our hind in our transitions. Now we're going to do our forequarters. Okay. And this is all range of movement stuff, improving the range of movement here on our horse and getting him stronger at the same time. It's a good thing. There's 1,000 ways out there you'll see on the internet nowadays on how to do stuff. This is a nice basic way how to do it, and it's nice and straightforward, simple for your horse to figure out. Okay, we're in a trot. Just turn the other way first. We'll do our good side first. Alright, I'm in a trot here. I'm going to do a turn, a little turn off of this circle. Keep going, buddy. Back on the circle again. Okay, now sometimes you might have to let your reins go to really show the horse that there's a reward after doing that turn. Okay, here we go again. Contact, turn, open out that direct rein, keep your rhythm, keep going, buddy. Back on the circle, and if you've got a horse who's lost a bit of impulsion in that, give him the loose rein. That's pretty nice. When you do this, not yet. When you do this, when you're first starting out, you might have to do a big turn. So see where that centre marker is? You might want to come right around there, do a big turn, mainly with a forequarter. But as your horse is getting more schooled, you'll be able to do smaller turns. Good boy. Alright, we're going to go back the other way. And this will keep him thinking. He's going to think I'm going to do a full one. Just here, I'm going to ride forward, open out. You've got to keep him thinking. You don't just, do these circles and have them shut off. You've got to keep him thinking through this. That, again, is more a teaching thing. Okay, here we go. Come on, buddy. Losing a bit of forward. If you feel the forward start to go, make your circle a little bit bigger to make it a bit easier. They've really got to use their inside hind on this one and reach out with that inside front. Keep going, buddy. Oh, good boy. Okay. This is a great exercise. When you get real good at this, they'll have more. They'll need more lift. One day you'll have a bit more elevation in your horse when you're doing this task. You'll be able to do that whole turn with that inside hind, hardly doing any, hardly doing much of a circle at all, so much forward. But you'll be able to get the hind foot doing a little circle like that, and the outside of the horse going around on the rest of the circle. It's fantastic. It's a pirouette. It's different to a spin. It's got more forward in it. All these tasks so far have had curves in them, lots of curves, lots of flexing, a lot of lateral flexing, hind quarter movement, forequarter movement, lots of range of movement stuff. It's great stuff, strengthening and flexing your horse. But, you do have to put some straights in there from time to time as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up on a straight. Straights sometimes mentally are a little bit more challenging for a horse because I feel like they need to just sort of run off. But hopefully you've done a nice job of flexing and softening your horse. And then if it gets a little bit too stiff when you're riding straight, you'll be able to use one of your reins and flex him and soften him and keep him calm. Okay, so we're going to start off over here. I'm going to ride down towards our creek over here, and with this one we're going to do some trot rebounds in a straight line. I'm going to do those on the way down there, and then on the way back I'm going to do trot diagonals. Okay, so trot to left, trot to the right, and hopefully trying to get him flexing in the direction of his turn. Now when I'm doing this, I'm going to start looking for more elevation in the stride. Okay, so I'm going to ask for elevation. Now when you first start this, you might not get as much elevation as what Major hopefully will give me. So you'll just do a trot, but be aiming to have more elevation in your movement. So I'll just wake him up here. So up, up, sort of exaggerated, okay? So I'll get some lift happening here. Good. Then we're going to take that into my forward, buddy. Good. Extend it, rebound it, get some nice impulsion in the back up, come into I want a little bit of elevated trot before we extend, and then extend, down to my rebound. Come on, buddy. So let him have a little bit of forward in my elevation. Trying to get some rhythm in him there, that's nice. And then go forward. Nice try, buddy. It's really important that you encourage a try in your horse if you want him to get stronger. That's nice. Extend. Nice, down to a back up. Nice hindquarter movement there, that's fantastic. A little bit of elevation and departure. Come on, mate. So you don't just want him running off at a trot. Do a turn here and try and keep a bit of boing in it. Keep boinging, mate. Good. Okay, here we got a little nice little trot here. That's nice. Going to take that to my diagonal. Good boy. Here I'm at the finish of my diag. A little bit of elevation. Now when you're first doing this, you might just come down to a halt in that spot. Diagonal again towards you guys. Good. Turn that trot into my start of my piaffe here. Good. Sideways again. Piaffe again. Cool. Diagonal again. Good boy. Whoa. Alright, it's coming along nice. Okay, so to get more elevation there, I've got to get more strength in there, getting more confident. But that's coming along really good. Okay, so when you're first doing this though, you might not get as much boing in your trot there, but just let them trot out. I'll just do one here that will be a bit more maybe what you might get first up. But what I just did there is what you're aiming for. Okay, you ready, mate? So we'll go from a backwards to a trot, to a nice slow trot, and then extend it. Pom, 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 and then whoa, sit back on that hind like you did in the rebounds there before. So that was a good warm up for this. Depart, nice slow trot, then extend it, bounce it back. Okay, and you can also do this bring it up to a canter. Right, I'll just trot down here for the sake of time. I love to sneak in these little practice turns. Alright, my start, trot diag, stop, good boy, trot diag, good, whoa buddy, whoa. Now there is a little bit heavy on that in the diag, so I just back him up a bit and try that again. Anytime your horse gets heavy on this, just back him up, tell him to get off of those reins. Don't let him lean on them. That's nice, down to a halt, beautiful. Good. Okay, so that's what it might look like when you first start out, and then you could build to where you could do this. Instead of putting a stop in there, you put a little bit of trot and then go back the other way. So the actual piaffe becomes a release. We'll talk more about that in another video. That's our fitness and strength practice session, and that's what I do to help my horse get stronger and fitter. Also, you'd combine this would be his strength day, and tomorrow would be more of a cardio day, so loose rein riding, some simple lead changes, more of what you do in your lessons 7 and 8 in our program. So loose rein stuff, you can go for a trail ride, something nice and loose rein for your horse, just to get them running, get them warm. But then come back the next day and do your strength stuff again, and you just keep going through that cycle. The loose rein is great for teaching your horse to have his own responsibilities as well. If you do all contact riding all the time, it starts to take away the horse's responsibilities and they start to zone out. So you've got to really combine this and keep in mind the horse's mind. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing your results, and remember to stay focused, have fun.